Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our Sunday prep. Welcome back to the second Sunday of Advent, an exciting time for all of us. We hope you're doing well. Father Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. You see, beautiful, beautiful day, another day. We are preparing more and more for the coming of the Lord during this time, opening us to new challenges, new journeys. So, yeah, all good for the best.
I have a question for you, Father.
Yes.
This year, Advent is, I believe it's the longest it can possibly be because Christmas is on a Sunday. And so the fourth Sunday, the fourth week of Advent is a full week, right? So this Sunday is the second Sunday, but it's only December 4th. So my question for you is this. When is it okay to put out Christmas decorations?
Well, you know what? I don't think even I have an answer for that question.
I
Uh, I will tell you what my family tradition was always and still is. We never start to put anything until December 24th.
Oh, wow. Okay. You're like a purist there. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, my father always said, remember, Christmas starts with Christmas, not before Christmas.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't want to throw my family tradition here. But you know what? Being prepared or preparing ourselves for this very celebration, and yes, not taking the Christmas decoration on December 26th. Yeah, that would be probably the ideal
Yeah. Yeah.
here.
So is it maybe fair to say that it's an open conversation and debate before, but the kind of more definitive answer should be at least keep it up through the Christmas season, which continues from Christmas Day all the way through the season.
Yeah,
So before you can argue in your household, that's an argument in
yeah,
my house. But afterwards, definitely keep it up for the season. So maybe that's the
yeah.
answer we can go with.
And definitely, and the Christmas season is all the way until Epiphany. So, yeah, it's a couple of weeks. It's good to keep it
I agree. I
and
agree.
celebrate.
I agree. Okay.
So,
Well, regardless of maybe individual decisions and the way that Costco looks right now, it is still Advent, and we're in the second Sunday of Advent, and this Sunday is John the Baptist Sunday, right? We have kind of this introduction to this important figure, this biblical figure, and his message, which I think many of us are familiar with. But I want to kind of focus in on a line from the second reading today from St. Paul's letter to the Romans, and then kind of just, a couple quick thoughts on it maybe. So in St. Paul's letter to the Romans, right in the middle here, it says, welcome one another then as Christ welcomed you for the glory of God. And then it continues, for I say that Christ became a minister of the circumcised to show God's truthfulness, to confirm the promise to the patriarchs, but so that the Gentiles might glorify God for his mercy, as is written, therefore I will praise you among the Gentiles and sing your praises to your name. That first kind of opening line to this kind of jumps out to me. Welcome one another then as Christ welcomed you for the glory of God. Kind of reading this through the first time, it kind of strikes me because, well, on the one hand, it seems very kind of nice and maybe a nice invitation during, we might even kind of look into this, holiday season, Christmas season, Advent season, of a nice gesture to reach out to friends and family, kind of welcome them over for a nice dinner or Christmas party, whatever. And that's pleasant. And I think that's nice here. But I think that there's something deeper and probably more, cutting to the bone that St. Paul probably is getting at here. Welcome one another then as Christ welcomed you. Well, the question then would be something like, well, how did Christ welcome you, or how did he welcome me? And regardless of your particular story, the general story is this. We are all sinners. We are all born into the catastrophe of original sin. Through the grace of baptism, we can be freed from that, but we still suffer from the effects of that in the broken, fallen world and in our own individual personal choices. And for me particularly, I've made a lot of poor choices, I know, in my life. I know there's many times when I have been proud, selfish, angry, hateful, argumentative. The list goes on and on, right? there's many things that I can say that I have done that are wicked and evil, and we all kind of fit into this category. There's no one here who can say that they're without sin, right? So this is a very obvious thing, but I think we kind of, I don't know, underappreciate the radicalness of Christ welcoming us despite our wretchedness, right? Or even because of our wretchedness, right? It's the Lord reaches out to us not because of anything that we've done to earn his love, but simply because his love is so great that he made us and invites us to himself, even though we are still sinners. And so there's something kind of dramatic, and I think, I don't know, maybe underappreciated about this idea that Christ welcoming us, right? So welcome one another then as Christ welcomed you for the glory of God. So Christ welcomed us and brought us into his divine life, even though we were, these terrible, broken things, and we still are in many respects, and God is still kind of fine-tuning and working with us by the grace of God, making us perfect in his image for heaven one day. So what does this look like? For us, I would say that, the image that maybe first came to mind for me of, inviting a friend over for dinner and having a nice Christmas, it's almost like a Hallmark movie, everything's just happy and warm, cozy by the fire. And that's real swell. But I think probably something more appropriate would be something like, to consider the person in your life who you can't stand. Because as much as I hate to admit it, there's people that I know who really irritate me, who annoy me, who bother me, who, when I see them walking down the street, I'm kind of inclined to go onto the other side of the street because they make me frustrated, and, whatever the context is in which I might know them. But I suspect that we all have somebody in our life who, if I were to say something like, would you rather, jump into a volcano or sit next to this person on a bus on a trip across country, you might be like eyeballing that volcano pretty quick, right? So there's some people in our life who I think they just get under our skins, and that's part of life. And I think maybe part of the challenge here from St. Paul is to be like Christ and to welcome them. Whatever that might look like. Maybe that is something as significant as inviting them over for dinner, or maybe it's something as simple as saying hello to someone who you might otherwise try to dodge and avoid. They're walking one direction down the aisle in ShopRite, and you're going this way. I normally want to scoot around and go the other way. I'm going to walk past. I'm going to say, hello, good morning, or something very simple like that to kind of recognize their dignity, their humanity, your love for them, the love that Christ has for them, and the love that Christ has for you. Because I think that there's something far deeper that St. Paul is trying to communicate than simply, having dinner with a friend. Jesus even says in the Gospels, to love our enemies, because even the pagans, even the sinners, love their friends and love their own family, love those who love them. It's to love those that don't love you and love those who are difficult to love, is really the call of the Christian. And so, perhaps during this Advent season, as we're, maybe busy with all of the trappings of Christmas and all the things coming up, and, appropriate or inappropriate, again, you can have that debate in your household, but maybe not to lose sight of the radicalness of the message of Christ here. The God who kind of became man, entering into and welcoming us into his divine life, even though we have not earned it, haven't deserved it, and yet he still loves us. And so there's an invitation, I think, for us too. But I'm talking a lot now, and I want Father Matt to share. So, Father, what are your thoughts on the reading Sunday?
Well, that's great. How you brought the image to love one another, but let's put it too on our own life. How do we respect ourselves? Finding ourselves that, okay, I need to put the pride on the side for a moment and let the God who is coming to me, who is not only leaving the heavens, and he's coming into our midst, who is leaving all that just so he can welcome us. I mean, how is that? The man of the house is coming out of it so that he can bring us, and we can have either the volcano, but we can also see, a big house, a palace, from which the king is coming, and whoever he finds on the street, he's like, come in, come in. And in many ways we can see ourselves that way, because we are not living because of the sin. We are not living in the palace next to it. So we are to be changed from that way, from so many different ways. But anyway, what strikes me is the very last sentence from the second reading that Jim read. Therefore, I will praise you among the Gentiles and sing praises to your name. You know, whenever I prepare myself for Christmas, and since I was growing up, like Jim surprised me with a question, when to put the decoration, right? Well, I've seen it too myself, many times. The Advent didn't even start, and here we are in the stores. There's so many Christmas decoration, the music, the caroling, everything is already, the Christmas is here before even we start preparing really for it. So boom, everything jumps up, which is good. We need to get ready for things. We need to ready ourselves from the outside. But then when the Christmas starts for us inside, do we really have that time when we feel God has come to dwell in our midst? Do I have that time when I realize, yes, this is the time. This is the time to do that, okay? It's not the stores, it's not the decoration over the house, so many lights, so many trees and everything. When this bright light comes to me, and how am I decorating, preparing myself for it? So as I said, God has come into the dirtiness of our life to make it nice, bright, and clean, and decorated with grace. So my question is, and we are going into people, among the people who not even believe in Christ in a way. They have they are from different faiths, but still we see that they decorate the tree. They're getting ready with everything. But maybe there'll be an opportunity to invite them and see why they are doing this and who brought that, so that we can celebrate. Okay, so going into the Gentiles, going into our own Gentile life, so many times should be really the opportunity that God gave us by His coming. So, in other words, be John the Baptist of the Sunday. He was the one who went into everyone to bring to the people the knowledge of what is about to happen, who is about to come, and how to bring ourselves so that the King may enter, so that the King may come in his little person of a baby, and how much that baby really brings. So as a priest, as a Christian, as Catholic, I'm looking into the opportunity to see myself too, not only the outside, but especially inside, so that when the Christmas time, the nativity of our Lord Jesus arrives here, I will not be surprised, but I will be able to celebrate and give praise to God, because that's what we are called to do. That's what we are about to do. And so, are we ready? So that's what comes to my mind. That's what St. Paul speaks and reminds me of, not to, be overwhelmed with the outside and forget that Christ came for me. Christ came for you. And he's not looking really on the decoration on your house, but he is looking what is inside, what is happening within your life. So that's my view today. That's what the reading speaks to me. So I hope that will ring you up to see the inside.
I think it's good. And maybe, Father, that settles the debate about when you should start decorating before Christmas. Maybe your decorating before Christmas should be in proportion to your prayer before Christmas in preparation. So maybe if you are decorating well before Christmas, you should be praying well before Christmas. Maybe that's a fair way to settle the debate.
I like that.
There we go. Okay. Well, we're glad that you're here, and we appreciate your support. We hope that your Advent is going well, and we look forward to celebrating with all of you this upcoming Sunday. And we look forward to seeing you all in church.
God bless you all.
Bye, everyone.